Call to order for the Town of St. John Town Council meeting for May 28th, 2025. Could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and then a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United
States of America,
and to the
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all.
If you could stand for a moment of silence, and I know we just had Memorial Day, if we could just be remembering of our military troops and their families. Thank you. You may be seated.
Wayne, did you stand?
I sure did.
We're going to take him at his word.
And he was silent.
I wasn't silent.
Beth,
Mike Bobat,
here.
Christian Jorgensen.
Present.
Ann Oster.
Present.
Wayne Pondinas.
Present.
Gerald Swets.
Present.
Bill Manasopoulos.
Here.
Amelia Yoder. Beth Hernandez is here. I'm here. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Beth. Moving to item 4 on public comment.
It's not AI. It's really Beth.
Yeah.
It is. We have one person signed up for public comment, Terry Nelman. Terry, could you please give us your name and address?
Yes, if you don't mind, I just want to turn this on real quick. Okay, sorry for the delay, but it's very important that we have the info. Yes, thank you very much. My name is Terry A. Nelleman, resident of St. John for 25 years, currently living at 9500 West 103rd Place. I have a question in regards to a item that came up at the last meeting. Mr. Jorgensen, you brought up a lawsuit against me that I lost with Lennar. Do you remember speaking to me about that? And Wayne Ponderas commenting about it also?
Nope.
No. Well, that comment, there was no lawsuit about Lennar against me, Terry Nelleman, the owner of the home. The lawsuit was from Lawton, and Bolos, whatever the three names are in regards to the St. John Homeowners Association. That was in regards to a public service warning that was hanging in my garage, okay? It had nothing to do with a lawsuit against me, and as a matter of fact, you said I had pleaded guilty, which, I did. I pleaded guilty to have a public service warning in my garage. Garage door closed, you can't see it. But the other point is that I pleaded guilty because there was $4,700 in attorney's fees that they wanted to charge me, and they decided to lower it to $100 if I pleaded guilty. So was I guilty in that lawsuit for hanging a public service warning in my garage? Yes, I was. But why didn't why didn't the association come after that public service warning for the reason it was put up? The structurally deficient, dangerous Lennar-built homes that the building commissioner, and I'm sorry to say the building commissioner's name of St. John is John C. Gill. We're not having a discussion, okay? I'm making a statement, and that's it. We got a big problem here. We've had a problem. I'm not going away. The home is our home, 9500 West 103rd Place. That is the evidence. Everything is there. Nobody wants to come in. Everybody was invited. Mrs. Yoder, you're Yoder, your attorney. The thing is you need to see what this building commissioner, John C. Gill, has overlooked.
30 seconds more.
At that point, I'd be repeating myself. I want to thank you for the opportunity to exercise my right to free speech every week, every 30 days, because I believe it's about 14,000 minutes, and we only get, as an individual, only get 3 minutes to speak. 1,400, 14,000, I didn't calculate it.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving to item 5, approval of minutes for May 14th, 2025 Town Council meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Beth, can we have a roll call, please?
Christian Jorgensen.
Aye.
Ann Oster.
Aye.
Wayne Pondinas.
Aye.
Gerald Swatz.
Aye.
Mike Bovat.
Aye. Thank you, Beth. Motion carries 5-0. Moving on to item 6, agenda items. A, financial matters of the corporation. Request to purchase. There are a total of 3 requests to purchase and a combined total of $25,745 for approval. Beth, did you care to comment on these?
Sure. Your first one is from Gaskill and Walton. It is for an emergency repair for Public Works. It was a pipe repair at Kilkenny Water Tower for $9,500. Precision Concrete Cutting is your second RTP for $10,000, and that is to remove sidewalk tripping hazards in Silverleaf, Saddle Creek, Magneto Meadows, and Claremont Ridge subdivisions as the budget allows. And lastly, Ferguson Waterworks is for a water meter at Lake Central High School.
Thank you. Do I have a motion for the request to purchase?
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
I have a motion, I have 2 seconds. Beth, can we have a roll call, please?
Christian Jorgensen.
Aye.
Ann Oster.
Aye.
Wayne Pondinas.
Aye.
Gerald Swatz.
Aye.
Mike Bovat.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Item 2, accounts payable voucher dated May 28th, 2025, representing payment for payroll, supplies, services, and equipment rendered to the town of St. John in the combined total of $799,689. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion. I have a second. Beth, could we have a roll call, please?
Christian Jorgensen.
Aye.
Ann Oster.
Aye.
Wayne Pondinas.
Aye.
Gerald Swatz.
Aye.
And Mike Bovat.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Moving on to number 7, ordinances and resolution. A, consider ordinance 1868, an ordinance amending salary ordinance number 1842, establishing a schedule of wages, salaries, and benefits for employees, fire and police personnel, and town officials, 2025 salary ordinance on second reading. Billy, could you just comment to this? I know it's second reading.
Second
but-
reading, this was for at the request of the fire chief and deputy chief. It would change some of the training to straight time as opposed to time and a half.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
Mr. President, motion to adopt ordinance 1868 on second reading.
Do I have a second?
I second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Beth, can we have a roll call?
Christian Jorgensen.
Aye.
Ann Oster.
Aye.
Wayne Pondinas.
Aye.
Gerald Swatz.
Aye.
Mike Bovat.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Moving to B, consider ordinance 1869, an ordinance amending the St. John zoning ordinance and providing for a zoning change for the property development commonly known as Park West in the town of St. John, Lake County, Indiana, on first reading. Bill, you care to comment on this?
Yeah, Mr. President, that is the 15 acres located in the southwest part of town. And I think
Did they receive a favorable
they
recommendation?
did receive a favorable recommendation. I have that in my notes from the Plan Commission.
Okay, thank you for that. Do I have a motion?
Is that on, right on Calumet Avenue?
It is located off of Calumet Avenue, just south of 101st, right south of the Providence Bank there.
Okay.
Kind of across from the Calumet Commons.
And so this is
Yes.
15.81 acres,
Correct, it is 15 point.
and you're going to approve 160 units on 15 acres? Is that what I'm understanding here? It looks like 160 row houses. Is that correct?
There's no row houses, I don't
No,
think. No,
there's
there's
no
no row houses
Well, what do you
at
want,
all.
condos?
It's a favorable recommendation from the planning commission. I think it's talking about there could possibly be a max, but I don't think that's the number. It hasn't
Who's that number anyway?
I haven't known a developer yet that hasn't gone at least to the max if he can't.
Well, why?
Yeah, there's gonna be like 10 units per building, so that would, I don't know what you wanna call that. It's not a home, it's not a single family, it's a condo or a row house or something. I think it's ridiculous. Anyway, that's all.
They're townhomes, actually. From what I looked at, I mean, we have townhomes.
Okay. So you're gonna have 160 of them on 16 acres. That's,
Don't think they're gonna end up with 160.
yeah.
I don't know if they have the room for it.
Really doubtful. Ashley?
It'll depend on how the engineering comes out. This is for just the rezone. They're still gonna have to do the primary plat, which is
Right.
gonna require engineering to see how the stormwater, utilities, contouring, all that lays out. So while that could be the max, it might not even work out that way by engineering that they get to that max. It's just all gonna depend on how that engineering comes out.
And then I do think the developer from the Calumet Commons, they were strongly supportive of this, Billy? Wasn't that
They
true?
were, Brad Lambert, had a conversation, knowing that it would be a feeder to his properties over there on what he's building over by the Great American Bagel and all those other places as they come online.
Very good. Do I have a motion for ordinance 1869?
Yes. Mr. President, I make a motion to adopt ordinance 1869 on first reading.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Beth, could we have a roll call, please?
Christian Jorgensen.
Aye.
Ann Oster.
Aye.
Wayne Pondinas.
Aye.
Gerald Swatz.
Nay.
And Mike Bovat.
Aye. Motion carries 4-1. Item C, consider resolution 2025-05-28, a resolution of the Town Council of the Town of St. John, Lake County, Indiana, approving a form of economic development agreement among the Town of St. John, Lake County, Indiana, the St. John Redevelopment Commission, and Air Alchemist LLC. Billy, would you want to comment on that?
I guess as in the previous meeting, this is for the old Kmart building. Kmart.
Kmart, Jewel.
Which will soon be a Jewel. And we're looking towards July for that project to start.
Very good. Do I have a motion?
Yes. Mr. President, I make a motion to adopt resolution 2025-05-28.
And I second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Beth, can we have roll call, please?
Christian Jorgensen.
Aye.
Ann Oster.
Aye.
Wayne Pondinas.
Aye.
Gerald Swatz.
Aye.
And Mike Bovat.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Town Council action number 8A, motion to approve agreement with Alsco Uniforms for mat services. Billy, can you comment on this, please?
Yeah, it's just a simple agreement between Alsco and town for mats.
All right. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve agreement with Alsco.
A second?
I second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Beth, can we have a roll call?
Christian Jorgensen.
Aye.
Ann Oster.
Aye.
Wayne Pondinas.
Aye.
Gerald Swatz.
Aye.
Mike Bovat.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Item B, motion to approve agreement with JLC Properties for road salt storage from May 31st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025, not to exceed $7,000. Billy, if you could comment on that.
Yes, so in anticipation of ice storms and snowstorms, Public Works had suggested that we find a on-site, in-town on-site where we can do extra salt storage so we're not running short as in past years.
Okay. Do I have a motion for the agreement with JLC Properties?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Beth, can we have a roll call?
Christian Jorgensen.
Aye.
Ann Oster.
Aye.
Wayne Pondinas.
Aye.
Gerald Swatz.
Aye.
Mike Bovat.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Item C, motion to accept letter of credit for Suncrest Christian Church Incorporated in the amount of $609,400. Billy, can you comment to this, please?
So this is the letter of credit for the public improvements that Suncrest Christian Church is going to be installing for Lot 1 of their development that's located on US 231 by Park Place there. It received a favorable recommendation from the town council to accept the letter of credit in that amount, and that amount is what was calculated by the town engineer.
We love letters of credit.
Yes, we do. Thank you for that, Ashley. Do I have a motion to accept the letter of credit for Suncrest Christian Church?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Beth, can we have a roll call?
Christian Jorgensen.
Aye.
Ann Oster.
Aye.
Wayne Pondinas.
Aye.
Gerald Swatz.
Aye.
Mike Bovat.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Item D, motion to approve task order number 25-08 for engineering service for 109th Avenue and White Oak Avenue roundabout not to exceed $176,000. Comment on that?
So we have Dave Schilling here from Robinson, if anyone has any questions for him.
Dave, can you just kind of come up and speak about the roundabout, kind of give us where we're at here, please?
Sure, no problem. Yes, Dave Schilling, Robinson Engineering. So just a little bit of project history. In 2023, Town Council gave us 2 task orders to look into kind of the feasibility of 2 roundabouts. One was at 101st and Calumet, the other one 109th and White Oak. Those were for $210,000 each. It didn't take very long to determine that the Calumet and 101st was not all that feasible just due to right-of-way constraints. You'd have to take a lot from the bank. You'd have to take quite a bit from the resident on the north side. So that one was ruled out. I think we maybe billed 20% of that amount. The town chose to move forward with this roundabout at 109th and Calumet. We actually went well beyond the original scope since we were moving forward. Now it's time to just do like the fine details. The geometry's set, the scope is set. This is to do the legal descriptions to purchase or acquire the additional right-of-way. It's to do the lighting design. It's to do the connect the sidewalks to the proposed park. It's to coordinate the driveway from the Heartland Park expansion onto 109th, get you through bidding, and get the project awarded.
Just to correct, if I heard you right, it's 109th and
White Oak.
White Oak.
Yes, I'm sorry if I misspoke.
Yep. Makes sense.
All right, very good, thank you.
I just want to
for
make
that.
it clear for the record.
Yeah, very good, thank you, Christian. Do I have a motion to approve task order number 25-08?
Motion to approve task order number 25-08.
I second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Beth, could we have a roll call, please?
Christian Jorgensen.
Aye.
Ann Oster.
Aye.
Wayne Pondinas.
Aye.
Gerald Swatz.
Aye.
And Mike Bovat.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Item E, motion to appoint Rich Christakes to the tree board.
Sorry, pal.
No, I know.
Christakis, whatever.
Yes,
It's all the same.
thank you for that. Do I have a motion to appoint Rich?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. Beth, could we have a roll call, please?
Christian Jorgensen.
Aye.
Ann Oster.
Aye.
Wayne Pondinas.
Aye.
Gerald Swatz.
Aye.
Mike Bovat.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Item 9, reports and correspondences, town council.
I just have one thing. Friday is the first dine out for St. John Animal Control at Culver's from 3 to 8. Scoopy, their mascot for Culver's, will be there too. It's just we're going to try and raise some funds for St. John Animal Control with some dine out nights, hopefully once a month. So if everybody could just maybe eat at Culver's on Friday night from 3 to 8, that would be great. And also, I would also suggest that people take a look at the St. John Parks Facebook page. They have so much stuff for the summer for kids and stuff. They do an amazing job. I mean, there's just so much stuff to do. Tonight they're doing sourdough bread making. I would have liked to have done that, but
I mean, Billy goes there every day. I mean, doesn't that count for all of us?
No, last
Both
meeting,
you touched
you-
it.
Sorry,
no,
Billy.
no,
I
Christian.
mean,
Last meeting, you said you were buying us all burgers. I
I'll
recall.
buy everybody a burger. That's
Yeah.
I'm happy to do it. Happy to do it.
Yeah, Mr. President, I just would like to recognize our police officers. We had cops on the roof over at Dunkin' Donuts earlier this month, and we celebrated National Law Enforcement Week this month. So for that reason, I would just like to recognize our police force and the good job that they do in town.
Outstanding.
And then also, if I could, and I don't know if this is in your report, but if we could get an update on 231 in Klein, the roundabout and the construction work and stuff.
Yes.
So you can do that in your report if you want.
I
but-
can have Ashley touch up on that, and then I have one other thing that,
Not
you
yet.
got me on the
Not
cop
yet.
on the roof.
That's all I
Yeah,
have.
yeah, Billy. Anyone else?
So we can do the cop on the roof too.
Yeah, Mr. President, Dave Schilling's in the audience. Have him give us a report on wells 8 and 9. When they're gonna start on that, please?
Okay, Dave, could you possibly comment to wells 8 and 9?
I can. They were on site last week doing preliminary grading. They've got well 8 site all cleared out. As soon as the pipe fittings come in, I think as early as next week. I talked to Grimmer Construction Tuesday. They're going to be extending where the raw water main currently stops to where it connects to the well house. So, yeah, the work is already underway.
Good, good. And are they gonna be both done? Are they gonna try and do it simultaneously at the same time? So it would save some money?
Yes, they're going to do them more or less simultaneously. They will do 8 first, so 8 will be graded, then the grading crew will move to 9, grade 9,
Okay.
while the next crew comes into 8, and so forth.
Good, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Dave. Anyone else? I was just going to comment, fortunately, very humbled to be the president of the St. John Town Council, and I had the privilege of attending the ceremonies during Memorial Day for Civic Park, which was done by the VFW 717, and then to also participate with the American Legion Post 369. And just very humbling to remember, and we did have some participation, and it was just great to see that St. John is remembering those who have fallen in service to our country. It was very touching. They did tremendous jobs. Just wanted to comment on that, and thank you all. With that, we'll move to item B, Town Manager. Billy?
Thank you, Mr. President. As you can remember, the council partnered with America in Bloom. Just wanted to give an update. Catherine Walsh and Gabe Hernandez have been leading the America in Bloom program. This program involves advisors visiting the town here coming up in June, June 18th. That'll be Alex Pearl and Christina Whitney. They're coming in to provide a little guidance and create a plan for community enhancement. St. John has already begun a community profile highlighting key features like the Shrine of the Christ Passion, the schools, the parks, and some of our upcoming projects. The program assesses the towns using metrics like vitality, floral impact, heritage, and environmental initiatives. Participation requires support from the town leadership, residents, boards, schools, churches, and public safety. Further information about the advisors and example videos will be presented in links that will be on our website. And that's all. And then the 231 and Klein.
I know they are getting ready to do some gas main movement that is currently on hold until NIPSCO has a meeting with Lake County Council. The bid was awarded by NDOT back in March, and I believe Milestone won the bid. Yeah, it was Milestone.
Yeah, it's a formality, but I'll be at the county council meeting for that.
So that intersection's gonna be closed for the most part, the whole month.
July.
It's gonna be closed for a while.
Okay.
It originally was for June, but I think they postponed it, and
Correct.
Yeah.
Until their meeting with the
They
county.
did.
Okay.
They have to give their blessing. So,
Well, it's their money, so. Kind of.
kind of.
It's their road.
All right, thank you, Billy. Moving on to item C, clerk treasurer, Beth?
Jerry just got me thinking, just a quick shout out to our Public Works Department too, who did a fantastic job with the branch pickup and chipping after the last couple rounds of storms. If you not that we're in competition with our neighboring communities, but if you drove through our neighboring communities as compared to us, we were pretty clear.
You were clear. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so I had a whole big pile, because I had a bunch of branches that came down. I felt sorry for those guys. And they came Monday and got them all taken care of, and then Tuesday night we had the big storm, and I had a whole nother big pile that came down. So I put them back out there, and sure enough, they were right back again to get them, so.
Yeah.
I went out there and thanked them for coming back and getting them.
And they were
Yeah.
out there
Did you
Friday
tip 'em?
night. The storm was Thursday, right?
yeah,
I
And they
gave
were out
them
there Friday night.
a nod.
That was great.
yeah. So, they did a good job.
Yeah, they started at 7:30, no, 9:30 at night and worked through the night, and some of them still work during the day. So they did an outstanding job.
Thank you to our Public Works. Dedicated. Anything else, Beth? No. Moving to item 10, adjournment. Do I have a motion?
Well, it's so early.
Yes.
Aye.
Do I have a second?
I second.
I have a motion, I have a second for adjournment. Beth, we have a roll call?
Christian
An
Jorgensen,
extra.
Aye.
Ann Oster,
Aye.
Wayne Pondinas,
Aye.
Gerald Swetz,
Arr.
and Mike Bovat.
Aye. Motion carries 5-0. We're adjourned.